Social workers receive a huge bonus for every biracial child that is brought into foster care, and the bonus is even huger when that child is adopted out. I am a permanency planning foster care social worker. Therefore, I can discuss these myths with you guys and let you guys know what's true, what's not true, and things like that. I don't know if people make things up or just lie about things that they're not really educated on, or if they really believe some of the things that they are told. But guys, let's just jump right into the video. Let's just get down to it. The first myth is, I always hear so many people saying, these people who have these foster parents in their homes receive thousands of dollars a month for them being there. They also receive hundreds of dollars in food and nutrition services, and they don't work. So therefore, they should be able to go well above and beyond and buy all these things for these foster children. Even if it's not realistic, they should just be able to go out and just do all these unrealistic things that you yourself would not do for your own children. Let me just explain to you how it works. If a child is not in a licensed foster home, they're in what we're called a kinship placement. Kinship placements can be either a relative or non-relative placement, but they are non-paid placements. Kinship providers do not receive any money whatsoever for that child being in their home, other than a clothing allowance every several months, and that child can keep their medical benefits that are provided through whatever state they live in. Here, I'm in North Carolina, so they keep their medical benefits. They get their clothing allowance every 3 to 4 months, and they receive child care services if they meet the qualifications. There are not thousands of dollars in payments going to these kinship providers. Everything that these children need is coming out of these kinship providers' pockets. They're doing it off of the love that they have for these children and for these families. Now, foster parents are paid, however, it's not thousands of dollars, honey. And they receive a stipend that is set by the state of North Carolina, and within that money is used to meet the needs of that child. Kinship providers nor foster parents are taking kids into their homes to receive money as their main source of income. Before a child is placed in a foster home, one, that foster parent has to have their own income outside of what they would receive with that child being there. No money received for a child being in a home can be that home's main source of income. That home has to be able to be maintained without that child being there and without any income from that child being there. If that child receives any type of Social Security benefits, death benefits, or anything like that, none of that money can be used to pay the bills in that home. That can't even be calculated. If they can't afford to take care of that home without that child there, then that child can't go there. So I hope that gives a little bit more clarity on that. One of the second myths that I hear a lot is that single parents or single people can't foster. That is totally untrue. If you go through the foster parent training, if your background and everything meets the qualifications, you absolutely can be a foster parent. My agency that I work for in North Carolina and many other agencies, we can't discriminate against you because you are a single person. I work with some great single foster parents. All the time is that same-sex couples cannot foster. Totally not true. I also work with some same-sex couples who foster, and they are nothing short of amazing. We cannot discriminate against anyone for who they choose to love. Who you love is who you love, but that does not prevent you from being a foster parent. Another myth that I hear a lot, and I'm telling you guys, this is probably the one that pisses me off the most, and it's that all foster children are damaged beyond repair. First of all, let me explain to you guys something. It is not a child's fault that they came into foster care. They had nothing to do with that. You can't choose who your parents are and some of the decisions that your parents make. Yes, these kids that come into care may or may not have any trauma history. Yes, they may need some services that your child may not need, because your child probably hasn't lived through seeing a lot of domestic violence and a lot of drug usage or being homeless and things like that. Some of these foster children have been through that, but they are not damaged beyond repair. They are not trash, and they shouldn't be treated as, oh, they're just a foster child, so they'll be fine. Let's put this label on them and treat them differently. They're already damaged beyond repair, and we can say and do whatever we want to say and do to them. Wrong. And you definitely can't be a kinship provider or a foster parent working with me with that attitude, because I look at these foster kids like my children. And I will not allow anyone to do anything to these kids that I will not allow to do to my personal children. So I can go from the social worker to mommy mode, I can go from that social worker into mommy mode in a split second. We just not gonna go there, but I'm gonna just say it. All foster children are not damaged beyond repair. Don't put that stereotype out there on these children. They cannot pick and choose who their parents are. It's not their fault. Some decisions that their parents made. Yes, they may need some therapeutic services, but it's okay. And some children who come into foster care haven't really seen a whole lot of things. We do have children who come into care because their parents are deceased. Things like that. So I want you guys to step away from that stereotype that all foster children have this thing about them and they're all damaged goods, because that is totally not the case. Another myth that I hear a lot is that all foster children are teenagers. Wrong. There are children that come into foster care straight from the hospital. So there are kids in foster care all the way from ages straight out the hospital to aging out at the age of 18 years old. And now they can choose to sign VPAs and remain in foster care to get that added assistance that they may require to become productive adults. So not all children in foster care are teenagers. By far, that is so not true. And the biggest, the largest myth that I hear all the time is social workers are paid these huge bonuses when biracial children are brought into foster care and when they are adopted. So it's like, you get a kid, you get a kid, you adopt a kid, you adopt a kid. That is so not true. If that was the case, honey, I would be in Walmart and Target and Food Lion and at malls and at parks and stuff, looking at people who are with biracial children. Oh, that child asked you for some water, and you said, "Hold up, honey, give me 1 second to open it up." You didn't open it up immediately, so let me go and make a report to take your child into foster care. That is the most craziest thing I've ever heard. There are no bonuses. There are no "I appreciate you more." There is no nothing received for a biracial child being adopted or out or coming into foster care. I have no clue where that comes from. The first time I've had someone tell me, "Constance, you are just this way because you received a huge bonus for X child to be adopted," I laughed so hard. I didn't realize that I began to laugh at this person. I did. Because I'm like, where do people get these things from? Honey, let me tell you, there are no bonuses for children who are biracial. There are no bonuses for no children who are biracial. No bonuses for biracial children when they come into foster care or when they are adopted. We don't receive any extra money for that. We are not out looking for biracial children to bring them into foster care. It doesn't happen. We do not receive anything when biracial children are adopted out. Guys, that doesn't happen. I don't know where that comes from, but every time I hear it, oh my goodness, I get a huge laugh out of that. I hope this video really helped you guys into understanding a little bit more about foster care and how it works. You know, all of the myths about foster care. I'm also about to actually, right now, I'm going to shoot a video on the facts surrounding foster care and children coming into care, and I would love for you guys to also watch that video so you would know and be able to learn a little bit more how the process works and what it is that we do and what it is that we want for these families. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you haven't already, click that notification bell so you'll get notified when new videos are uploaded, and also subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys in the follow-up video. Thank you.